The battery took it upon itself to put itself in place.
So a lot of times when I do these jobs, I pretty much show you the real deal. This is what it looks like getting this battery out of here. I'm not a master Dodge Jeep technician. I'm just a dude in the garage. Afternoon, everybody. So we've been having some problems with the old SRT Grand Cherokee not wanting to remote start in the morning. Just started a week or two ago when it was starting to get colder outside. Even though the thing sits in the garage still gets colder. And so what it would do is you'd hit the remote start on the key fob and you would actually hear it hit the starter, and then it would immediately stop cranking. So it almost sounded like you hit the starter with a ball peen hammer. The battery is original. At least as far as I know, it's original. We're getting ready to find out. I'm 99% sure that the problem with the remote start is just that the battery's getting old. We also noticed that after those failed remote start attempts, that the engine did in fact crank a little bit slower than it normally does, just using the push button start. So I just wanted to go over a couple of things. I've never tried it on the Jeeps before, but I have this little cheater cable that I use as a memory saver, and I just use a 12 volt power tool battery. So I'll hook that up to the jumper studs, and we'll see if it saves the memory. You do have to be kind of careful doing that though, because your cable in theory down at the battery should be hot, so you got to make sure that doesn't touch anything. On these Jeeps, the Grand Cherokees, they've got these lugs on the right hand fender for jump starting. The battery is not in the engine compartment. The battery is actually located underneath the front passenger seat here. And then one of the other things that I wanted to touch on was, I didn't know, but apparently I was forced to learn that some Grand Cherokees have a secondary or auxiliary battery pack. And I believe, somebody correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments, that the vehicles that have that secondary battery pack are only the vehicles that have auto start stop. As far as I know, none of the V8 Jeeps have auto start stop. And I know for a fact the SRT Jeeps don't have auto start stop. When I was at my favorite battery store online, they said that this thing had the secondary battery, and I almost bought it just preemptively. Glad I didn't, because after doing some more research, we found that it does not have a secondary battery. So quickly, we'll go over getting this battery swapped out. Like I said, it is underneath the seat. Supposedly you can do this job without taking this seat out. My plan is not to take the seat out, but I'm probably going to yank the bolts out of it. At least loosen the front bolts and then take the rear bolts out so I can just prop the seat up. It's not hard. Make life easier on yourself. Ooh, look, pro YouTuber with auxiliary lighting. Here's the battery cover. I popped it loose up front using the interior panel removal tool. And now we will proceed to drive the seat all the way forward. Don't wait until your battery is completely dead to do this job, or you're going to be miserable. You do, if you notice it slowing down at all, you do preemptively want to change your battery. That goes for any modern vehicle that's all electric laden. So here's our battery cover, and there's our battery. We have the factory, I guess you could call them a WeatherTech style mat in this thing, but they're the actual OEM Dodge ones. And there is in fact no auxiliary battery in here. So now what I want to figure out is, how do I want to take the cables off and yank this battery out of here? They must have this little bit of a trough right here to help you get the battery out. Maybe I won't take the seat loose. Maybe I will just try going for it. So it looks like we got 10 millimeters on our battery clamps right here. There's one there. There's another one right here at the tip of my finger on the positive. So before I do that, I'm gonna go hook my battery up to the studs on the fender so we can hopefully keep our memory. There's a little protective cover over the negative post right here. And then you gotta pop this guy loose on the positive to get this post exposed. You gotta keep this stuff separated or otherwise bad things are gonna happen. And make sure your polarity's correct. So negative. And positive. Put the positive up first. Triple check, negative, negative. Okay, now we should have a constant 12 volt source. Oh yeah, you're still with me. Always take your negative off first. Alright, so apparently this thing's got all kinds of fancy battery monitoring. Well, it looks like we got some kind of a battery vent because we are inside of a vehicle. It'll be interesting to see if the new Duracell AGM that I bought has a port for that vent. I grabbed this piece of foam pipe insulation right here to slip over the positive battery cable because it should be hot from the power tool battery. Before I yank that off of there, we're going to take the battery hold down loose. That's an interesting place to put the VIN number. So a lot of times when I do these jobs, I pretty much show you the real deal. This is what it looks like getting this battery out of here. I'm not a master Dodge Jeep technician. I'm just a dude in the garage. So right now we're trying to get the hold down loose. So the hold down is a 13 millimeter nut times 2. Okay, our second nut. So you can see the hold down in the hold down battery hold down in there. Here's our battery hold down. Thankfully not full of McDonald's French fries. Okay, now we can go take the front cable off. All right, now we are ready to see we can carefully yank this battery out of here. It's about as dark as it gets in here. I don't know any way to get more lighting in here for y'all. Try not to tear up the negative cable. She's a heavy girl, but she does in fact fit just fine without the seat coming out. So we'll clip this guy back on. Don't need him open. So the date on that battery was November of 2016. So I'm gonna go get the new battery and we'll jam it down on in there. I've got it sitting on the bench with a float charger on it, since who knows how long it's been sitting in the store since somebody bought it. So here's our brand new Duracell battery. And it does in fact have the port over here for the internal vent on the car, so this group size must just know to do that apparently. But yeah, we are ready to jam this guy in. Turn it back around this way. Put the handles down because we don't need the handles deployed. And then I'm probably going to have to go up front and help guide the positive cable over the battery. All right, the battery took it upon itself to put itself in place. And I'm okay with that. Okay, let's get our negative out of the way. Oh, it's on the vent. No! She's squashing the vent. Okay, the vent is saved. There she goes. There she goes. You'll know when she's in the right place. It'll drop down in and flat and slide forward and lock into the tray. Okay, before I do anything else, I'm gonna go ahead and hook the positive cable back up to the battery. And no, I don't know what the torque is on these battery clamps. Use your better judgment. I'll see if I can find something online for the video. Okay, we got our foam off. Make sure that it's fully seated on that battery post. You don't want it standing up tall. Okay, that should be that. Click. I'm going to go ahead and hook the negative back up. Okay, no sparks and arcs, so that's good. Everything's laying nicely. We should be able to go ahead and take our battery off of the posts on the right-hand fender, the memory battery. Little ratchet action here on the old negative. Click. You can see how much force. I'm even choked up on this. It doesn't need to be 800 foot-pounds of torque. Okay, our battery hold down. Holes for the mounting studs should be facing back. Okay, make sure your cables and your vent hose are clear of that battery hold down clamp, or it'll tear stuff up when you go to tighten it up. Cheating with our Milwaukee power ratchet. Torqued. There's our vent. It's got a little check valve in it. It's going to go right here in the side of the case, like that. Kerplopo. There's another shot of the battery hold down in there and how our cables are laying. I think we are ready to put the old cover back on. Okay, we should have power. Our seat works. We can put these back on because we didn't need to take them off, but you never know. Okay, those are back in. There's our battery view from the front. The battery cover actually says VIN right on it. So that VIN number is correct in the location of the floor of the body. Seat harnesses are out of the way. Clip, clip. And then we got our rear part of the cover here. Clip, clip. Okay. Let's put our floor mats back in and start this humdinger up. Guess I gotta go get a key to see if we can get this thing to work. Okay, I don't know if it will remote start after changing the battery. Let's find out. $56,000 miles on that there battery. Turn off the hardcore gangster rap. Well, look, all the radio stations are in place. Let's see if our seat memories lived. Mirrors, seat moved. Let's go back to position 1. All right, everything seems like it's proper. All the radio stations are still there. All the other perts and such, the time and whatnot is all correct. So I think we are good to go on our battery replacement. The remote start works once again, and we have proven that there is no auxiliary battery in an SRT Grand Cherokee, which obviously there's people out there that already know that, but I didn't. So anyways, hopefully this helps somebody if you're randomly trying to figure out if you need that extra battery or not. Maybe help somebody figure out how to do it as quickly and easily as possible. So beyond that, I think that's all we got for this one, and hopefully y'all tune in for some of my other boring ass videos.